Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when this video finds you. Coming into seated easy meditation pose, straightening out your spine, holding your shoulders back, palms looking to facing the Mother Earth below you to receive that loving earth warming energy from the core of the earth below you. If you'd like to receive a little bit more of a grounding flow today, palms are facing up. If you would like to receive a little bit of an increase of life force pranayama energy from the universe today, point your finger and thumbs come to touch each other. Taking a nice deep inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Taking a deep inhale in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth, grounding yourself in today's practice. Repeat to yourself, presence. Inhaling through the nose, join me for one round of Om. Inhaling. The sound of the universe flowing through every cell of your body. Bringing your palms together, rubbing your palms together to create warmth and friction, sending that warmth and loving energy throughout your body, bowing your forehead down. Namaste. The light within me sees the light within you. Palms or hands back down onto your knees, remaining with your eyes closed, setting your intention for what you would like to receive out of today's class. If you would like, maybe both palms come on top of your heart, asking your heart today what you would like to receive, or what it would like to receive out of today's practice. Connecting with your heart. Maybe you want to focus on manifesting something, or maybe you want to focus on going with the flow a little bit more. Maybe you want to focus on strengthening or flexibility. Keeping your eyes closed, bringing your palms or hands back down to your knees. Move your position, point your finger, thumbs still touching each other. And just going with the flow a little bit here with our eyes closed, starting to move around. No specific way, just gentle and slow. Incorporating your neck now, and then incorporating your head. Just imagining like we're a seaweed in the ocean, going with the waves. Just going with the flow. Imagining we're floating around like a seaweed. Just repeat to yourself, I can go with the flow, while still going after my specific goals. Let's go ahead and cartwheel our palms over to the front of the yoga mat. Knees to the outer edges of the yoga mat. Big toes come to touch each other. Inhale, pushing that belly button forward a little bit. Exhale, hips to your heels, extending out with your hands, forehead to the mat, extended child's pose. And we'll take about 5 breaths here, so just focusing on your breath, your heart, your intention. Perfect. Coming back to center, knees right below your hips and wrists right below your shoulders. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of a gentle cat-cow. Inhaling, looking up, belly button to the mat. Exhale, cat. Arching that back gaze to your belly button. Inhale, looking up. Let's come into a cow. Exhale, cat. Arching it back. Just like a cat open that just woke up from a nap. Inhale, looking up. And exhale, looking down, arching that back. Coming back to neutral, placing your palms in front of you about 1 hand distance away from you. Coming to the bottoms of our toes, lifting up our hips. Let's come into a downward facing dog here. Walking out your dog here for your first dog. Feet are pointed to each other very slightly. Toes are pointed to each other very slightly. Gaze is looking to your belly button. Downward facing dog. Taking a deep inhale in, on your exhale, right palm reaches for that left ankle, coming into a little bit of a twist here. Maybe your gaze looks underneath that left shoulder. Downward facing dog. Coming back to center. Inhale, lifting up that left hand and then grabbing onto our right ankle. A little bit of a cross here. Maybe your gaze looks up in past your right armpit, your underarm. Coming back to center, downward facing dog, gaze fully to that belly button. Inhale, looking forward. Let's step, hop, or jump to the front of your yoga mat, coming into halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward bend, palms to the yoga mat. Let's go ahead and walk our feet about a hip distance away from each other, so both ankles are right below those hips. Ragdoll for a moment here, grabbing onto each elbow, swaying from left to right. Slowly, vertebrae per vertebrae starting to come up. Let's come into an Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart center and then to the sides of your body, Tadasana, mountain pose, standing tall and strong like a mountain, shoulders held back, chin lifted up. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of a twist here. So left palm onto your right hip. Right palm reaches for that left hip. Little bit of a spinal twist here. And gaze looks back. Let's try to keep our hips so that they're parallel with the front of the mat. Just looking with that gaze now to the back of that yoga mat. Let's go ahead and switch sides, reaching for the opposite hips, keeping those hips parallel to the front of your mat. Left palm reaches for that right hip, and right palm reaches for that left hip. Gaze looks back behind you, a little bit of a twist here. Coming back to center, Urdhva Hastasana, upward salutes, tall and strong. Pushing that belly button to the imaginary wall right in front of us, and palms pointed back. A little bit of an opener here. Exhale, slowly going down, forward bend. Ragdoll here for another moment, releasing tension in that neck. Let's go ahead and place our right palm in the center, but right in front of our feet, but in center, lifting up our left hand up to the sky. A little bit of a twist here. Maybe your gaze follows and looks to your left fingertips. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Left palm onto the yoga mat, right in front of your feet, but in center. Lifting up that right arm, gaze to your right fingertips. Placing both palms onto the yoga mat. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, let's go ahead and come into another forward bend. If this is good for you, you can stay here. If you would like to come into the next pose, maybe both palms reach underneath your feet, and then you come into a forward bend, hand to foot posture. Slowly starting to come out of it. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, placing your palms onto the yoga mat, stepping, hopping, or jumping to the back of your mat. Coming into a chaturanga. Modified is okay if you need to put the knees down, but let's go ahead and bring our shoulders right above our wrist. Exhale down, elbows close to your ribs. Inhale, top of the toes, opening up heart center, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Taking a little bit of a breath here. And gaze comes to that belly button. Looking forward to the front of your mat. Stepping, hopping, or jumping to the front of your mat. Let's come into a Ardha Uttanasana, halfway up, straightening out that spine. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae starting to come up. Urdhva Stasana, upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart center, and then coming to the sides of your body. Tadasana, mountain pose, holding the shoulders back, chin lifted up, strong and tall, just like a mountain. Let's go ahead and come to the side of the mat. So stepping our foot out to the side of your yoga mat. Let's go ahead and warm up our body just a little bit before we come into the next pose. So with your right, let's keep our feet about 3 to 3.5 feet wide from each other. Now facing the side of our yoga mat. Turning our right foot into out to look forward to the front of the yoga mat. Heels are in one line with one another, and your left foot follows to about 45-degree angle, and just checking those heels, making sure they're in one line, keeping your quadriceps, your hamstrings engaged. Inhale in, arms come up. Exhale, following your right fingertips as if somebody were pulling onto those right fingertips. When we can't follow them anymore, let's go ahead and sweep them over, bringing your left palm to the outer edge of that left foot. Right hand comes up, a little bit of a triangle twist here. Maybe your gaze looks up to the sky, to those fingertips. Placing your hands onto the mat, walking up gently, inch by inch, vertebrae by vertebrae, starting to come up, switching to the other side. Just warming up that body, the hamstrings and everything right now. Heels remain in one line with one another. The left foot is pointing to the back of the yoga mat. Toes follow to about 45-degree angle, keeping your quadriceps, hamstrings strong here. Taking a deep inhale in, arms come up. Exhale, following your left fingertips as if somebody were pulling onto those fingertips. When they can't pull them anymore, sweeping your left arm to the side of your body. Right arm comes down to the outer edge of your right foot. And then maybe your left hand comes up. Twisted triangle pose. Maybe your gaze follows and looks up to your left fingertips. Releasing that palm onto the mats. Slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, starting to come back up. Coming back to center. Facing both feet to the front of the yoga mat. Let's go ahead and open up those hips just a little bit more. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. Moving your feet so toes are pointed outward very slightly, just very slightly. Exhale, as if we're going to sit into a chair right behind us and coming into a yogi squat here. Palms to center, elbows to the sides of your, to the insides of your knees. Maybe rocking from left to right here. Coming into that yogi squat. Remember to breathe. Placing both palms onto the yoga mat, hips come up, and slowly vertebrae by vertebrae, inhale, and inch by inch starting to come up. Coming back to center, right? Maybe jumping into the center. Still facing the side of our yoga mat. Feet are together. Keeping them very engaged. Finding something in front of you that's in stillness to focus on. Once you find that thing in front of you, lifting up your toes and placing your toes from your pinky to your big toes one by one onto the yoga mat, grounding yourself into that yoga mat. Keep those quadriceps, those hamstrings strong here. We're going to come into a balance here. Once you feel balanced, starting to put your weight onto your left leg here. Balancing. Remember, we're balanced. Lifting up your right leg in a 90-degree angle as we prepare. It does help to keep your arms to the sides like this if you want to. So you can stay here if this feels like enough of a challenge or enough of a balance to you. If you would like a little bit more of an increase of balance, maybe your 2 pointer fingers wrap around your big toes, coming into a hand to foot posture here. Keeping that balance. So right arm is on the inside of that right leg. If this feels like enough here, you can stay here. If you would like, maybe you bring out your right leg in front of you, coming into a little bit of a stretch here. And maybe your right foot, right leg, right arm come to the right side of your body. A little bit of a stretch here. Releasing that leg, forward bend, taking a break here. Ragdoll it out. Swaying from left to right. Slowly, inch by inch, vertebrae by vertebrae, starting to come up. Let's go ahead and come to the other side for that stretch here. So feet are together, standing strong, lifting up your toes, placing your toes one by one with your pinky toes first to your big toes for that balance. Find that thing that's in front of you for balance, that's in stillness. Once you feel balanced, putting your weight onto your right leg, lifting up your left leg in a 90-degree angle. If this feels like enough to you, that's fine. Keeping that quadricep hamstring strong, strong balancing leg, strong bent leg. If you would like, maybe your pointer fingers wrap around your big toes. Just a balance here. A balanced mind is a balanced body. And maybe you kick out your feet out in front of you, that left leg. And maybe that comes to the left side of that body. Releasing your foot. Let's go ahead and cartwheel our arms over to the front of the yoga mat. Stepping back into plank pose. Shoulders right above your wrist. Inhale in. Exhale. Chaturanga modified is okay here. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra, coming to the top of the toes. And then exhale, downward facing dog, taking a breath here, gaze to that belly button. Bringing your left foot to center as you prepare. Inhale, let's go ahead and lift up our right leg into three-legged dog on the right side of that body. If you would like, maybe stack your hips, coming into fire hydrant dog pose. And if you would like to come into the full thing, maybe come into a wild thing. And releasing, coming back to regular downward facing dog. Let's come to the other side. Right foot to center, lifting up that left leg, three-legged dog. Maybe stack your hips here. Left hip on top of that right hip. And then releasing, coming into wild thing on the left side. Exhale, coming back to center. Downward facing dog. Inhale, coming back to a plank pose here. Shoulders right above those wrists. Just strengthening that core for a moment here. And then bringing your right palm to center. And then just coming to the right side of our body, side plank pose. Left foot comes on top of that right foot. Maybe your left arm comes up. If you need a modification, maybe your right knee comes down for a little bit of a supported side pose, side plank. Releasing, coming to the other side. Left palm to center. Right foot comes on top of your left foot. Right palm comes up, right arm comes up. Side plank pose, modified. If you would like to release your left knee onto the yoga mat, you can do that. Releasing, coming onto your knees, crossing your ankles behind you, coming into seats right here, 90-degree angle, massaging out your feet, your legs, one by one coming up. And then let's go ahead and bend our right leg. So it's bent and our left leg is straight out in front of us. Inhaling. Arms come up, exhale. Bringing your right arm in front of you on the inside of that left knee. Maybe your armpit wraps around that right knee here. And then reaching back with our left hand so that our left hand can grab onto our right hand, opening up heart center, just coming into a little bit of a twist here. Coming back to center, switching sides. Right leg onto the yoga mat. Left leg is bent. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. Exhale, left arm comes out in front of your left leg, sweeping under, and maybe your right palm reaches for your left palm, opening up heart center. Inhale, coming back up. Let's go ahead and place our back onto the yoga mat. Happy baby here. Point peace fingers wrap around your big toes. Elbows to the insides of your knees, rocking from left to right. Happy baby. Placing your feet onto the yoga mat and making any last movements that you'd like to make before coming into Shavasana, laying down pose, maybe another twist, maybe a nice full body stretch here. Once you're done coming into Shavasana, laying down pose. Feet to the outer edges of the mat, hands to the outer edges of the mat. Palms are facing up. Closing your eyes, allow your body to get completely heavy. Remaining in stillness, start to imagine that you're in your quiet space, your place of safety, your place of paradise. Imagine you're there right now. Where are you? Who are you with? What are you doing? What can you smell? What can you see? Are you eating something or drinking something? What can you touch? What can you feel? Do you feel a warm sun on you or the ocean water? Is it cold? Just remind yourself you can always go to this paradise whenever you want to during the day. This is your kingdom and your safety area. With your eyes still closed, starting to rock over to the right side of your body, giving yourself a big hug. Thanking yourself for bringing you through your practice today and anything else you would like to be grateful for. And with your eyes still closed, and slowly and gently starting to come up into seated, easy meditation pose. Straightening out your spine. Palms are back onto your knees, facing down or facing up. Taking a deep inhale in for closing Om Shanti. Inhale through the nose. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bringing your palms to heart center, bowing your forehead down. Namaste. The light within me sees the light within you. Thank you so much for joining today, and you did amazing. I can't wait to see you again tomorrow.